Welcome to this deep dive into the future of finance. We've
Yeah.
got expert opinions from the Federal Reserve,
Okay.
some economic analysis,
Interesting.
and even a peek into
Okay.
the world of cryptos
Right.
and stablecoins.
Wow, this is a lot to cover.
It is. What's interesting is our sources offer
Oh, yeah.
contrasting perspectives on AI's impact.
Okay.
Some foresee steady progress,
Mm-hmm.
while others envision a complete transformation.
Yeah, that's an
It's
interesting.
like we're standing at the edge of a new frontier.
Right.
No one's quite sure what lies ahead,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what makes this deep dive so exciting.
Yeah.
We're going beyond the hype to uncover how AI could reshape industries,
Sure.
jobs, and even the entire economy.
Okay, let's start with a framework for
Right.
understanding these potential impacts.
Okay.
Vice Chair Barr from the Federal Reserve
Mm-hmm.
outlines two scenarios:
Okay.
incremental adaptation
Mm-hmm.
and transformative change.
Okay, let's unpack those.
Yeah.
Incremental adaptation.
Yeah.
Sounds like AI mainly helps us do what
Mhm.
we're already doing,
Right.
just more efficiently, right?
Exactly. Think of AI streamlining existing processes,
Okay.
faster drug development,
Mm-hmm.
smoother manufacturing,
Right.
customer service that actually solves your problems.
Yeah.
Things like that.
So improvements around the edges,
Yeah.
not a fundamental shift.
Right.
Then there's transformative change.
Okay.
That's where things get really interesting.
Right. In this scenario, AI isn't just a tool for optimization.
Mhm.
It's a catalyst for breakthroughs.
Okay.
Imagine AI leading to cures
Wow.
for diseases we thought were incurable,
Okay.
or revolutionizing material science
Yeah.
with self-healing substances and programmable matter.
Wow. That's a huge leap.
It is.
If we connect this to the bigger picture,
Okay.
what does each scenario mean for industries like finance?
Well, in the incremental adaptation scenario,
Yeah.
we'd likely see AI further automating tasks,
Okay.
like fraud detection,
Mhm.
risk assessment,
Yeah.
and compliance.
Okay.
It would make the financial system more efficient,
Mhm.
but the fundamental structure wouldn't change drastically.
But if transformative change takes hold,
Yeah,
things could look radically different.
absolutely. Imagine financial transactions happening instantly.
Wow. 24/7 across
Okay.
quarters fueled by AI-powered analysis,
Mhm.
and maybe even entirely new types of financial institutions.
Wow, designed for AI agents.
It's almost like the current system
Yeah,
would become obsolete overnight.
potentially.
Speaking of which, we can't talk about the future of finance
Right.
without touching on cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
They seem to be constantly evolving,
Mm-hmm.
and the regulatory landscape is shifting too.
What's fascinating here is the tension
Okay.
between the desire for a more open,
Mhm.
decentralized financial system
Yeah.
and the need for regulation
Right.
to protect investors,
Yeah.
ensure stability.
It's a tricky balance for sure.
Yeah.
On one hand, you have innovators like David Marcus,
Okay.
the CEO of Lightspark,
Yeah.
who envisions an open money grid
Okay.
where value flows freely
Mm-hmm.
and instantly stablecoins,
Yeah.
he argues,
Yeah.
are key to enabling this.
And on the other hand, you have regulators
Right.
grappling with how to oversee this new technology without stifling innovation.
Especially since we've seen the potential
Right.
for volatility and risk in the crypto world.
Yeah.
The FTX collapse, not too long ago,
Mm-hmm.
is a prime example.
It definitely highlighted the need for safeguards.
Yeah.
But it's also worth noting that the U.S. government's stance
Mm-hmm.
on crypto has shifted from skepticism to a more open approach
Okay.
in recent times.
So the future of finance is a bit of a wild card right now.
Yeah.
We have these powerful forces,
Yeah.
crypto evolving regulations,
Yeah.
all interacting in complex ways.
It's definitely a dynamic landscape.
It is.
And that brings us to a crucial question.
Okay.
How do we manage risk
Yeah.
and build resilience
Mm.
in such an uncertain environment, especially as AI becomes more deeply intertwined with financial systems?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
What steps can be taken to ensure that these technological advancements
Mm.
lead to positive outcomes?
Well, Vice Chair Barr emphasizes the
Okay.
importance of responsible AI development.
Mm-hmm.
This means thinking about potential downsides from the outset,
Yeah.
building in safeguards,
Okay.
and constantly assessing for unintended consequences.
So it's not just about the technology itself,
Right.
but about how we deploy and govern it.
Exactly. And this goes beyond finance.
Okay.
As AI becomes more powerful,
Right.
we need to consider its impact on the broader economy,
Yeah.
particularly on jobs and labor markets.
That's a topic that often sparks anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Will AI lead to mass unemployment?
Yeah.
Will robots steal our jobs?
While there are valid concerns,
Sure.
it's important to remember that technological unemployment is not a new phenomenon.
Okay.
Throughout history,
Hmm.
new technologies have displaced certain jobs,
Right.
but they've also created new ones.
So the question isn't whether jobs will be lost,
Right.
but rather how we adapt to the changing landscape.
Exactly.
How do we equip people with the skills they'll need in an AI-driven economy?
Vice Chair Barr highlights the need for robust retraining programs,
Okay.
education systems that keep pace with technological advancements,
Right.
and maybe even a fundamental shift in how we think about work
Okay.
and its purpose in society. It's not just about acquiring new technical skills,
Yeah.
but also about developing adaptability,
Right.
critical thinking, and problem-solving abilities.
Okay.
Those uniquely human traits
Yeah.
that AI can't easily replicate.
So we need to focus on cultivating those skills
Right.
that set us apart from machines.
Precisely. And this brings us to another important point
Okay.
raised by Vice Chair Barr,
Mm-hmm.
the need for vigilance
Okay.
as AI systems become more complex
Yeah.
and interconnected.
Okay.
The potential for unintended consequences increases.
What kind of unintended consequences are we talking about here?
Well, one concern is that AI could amplify existing biases
Okay.
or create new ones.
Okay.
If AI algorithms are trained on biased data,
Mm-hmm.
they could perpetuate
Right.
and even exacerbate those biases in their decision-making.
So we need to be mindful of the data that's used
Absolutely.
to train these systems.
And we need to develop mechanisms for
Okay.
monitoring and auditing AI systems to ensure that they're operating fairly and transparently.
Another concern that comes to mind
Yeah.
is the potential for AI to be used maliciously.
Mm-hmm.
Could AI systems be hacked
Yeah.
or manipulated to cause harm?
It's definitely a risk that we need to take seriously.
Yeah.
As AI becomes more powerful, it becomes a more attractive target for
Okay.
malicious actors.
Right.
We need robust cybersecurity measures
Yeah.
to protect AI systems from attacks.
And it's not just about protecting the systems themselves,
Right.
but also about safeguarding the data they process.
Yeah.
We're talking about sensitive financial information,
Mm-hmm.
personal data,
Right.
potentially even national security secrets.
That's right. The stakes are incredibly high.
Yeah.
And as we've seen with other technologies, there's always a cat and mouse game
Yeah.
between those who develop security measures
Okay.
and those who try to circumvent them.
It's a constant race to stay ahead of the curve.
It is.
But it's not all doom and gloom. There's also a lot of excitement
Yeah.
and optimism
Yeah.
surrounding AI's potential
Yeah.
to solve some of the world's most pressing problems.
That's true if we can harness AI's power responsibly.
Okay.
It has the potential to revolutionize healthcare,
Mm-hmm.
education, energy production,
Right.
and countless other fields.
So the key is finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
where we can maximize AI's benefits
Right.
while mitigating its risks.
Exactly. And that requires a collaborative effort.
Okay.
We need policymakers,
Mhm.
researchers, industry leaders, and the public all working together
Okay.
to shape the future of AI.
It sounds like we need a global conversation
We do.
about AI ethics,
Yeah.
governance,
Uh-huh.
and regulation.
That conversation needs to start happening now.
Yeah.
Before AI becomes so advanced
Right.
that it's difficult to control.
This brings us back to that fork in the road we discussed earlier.
Okay.
Incremental adaptation versus transformative change.
Right.
Which path do you think we're headed down?
It's hard to say for sure.
Yeah.
It's likely that we'll see elements of both scenarios
Okay.
playing out simultaneously.
Mhm.
Some industries will experience gradual changes,
Okay.
while others will be completely upended.
And the pace of change
Right.
will likely vary.
Absolutely. But one thing is,
Okay.
certain AI is a powerful force
Yeah.
that's already reshaping our world.
Mm-hmm.
The choices we make today
Yeah.
will determine what that future looks like.
And those choices are not just technological,
Right.
but also ethical and societal.
Yeah.
We need to be asking ourselves not just what can AI do,
Mm-hmm.
but also what should AI do?
That's a great point. We need to be thinking about
Yeah.
the kind of world we want to create with AI.
Okay.
Do we want a world where AI benefits everyone?
Mhm.
Or do we want a world where the gains are concentrated
Okay.
in the hands of a few?
These are profound questions.
They are.
They go beyond the realm of technology.
Mhm.
They touch on issues of fairness,
Yeah.
justice,
Right.
and the very meaning of what it means to be human
Yeah.
in an age of intelligent machines.
And they're questions
Yeah.
that we all have a responsibility to grapple with. The
Okay.
future of AI is not predetermined.
Mhm.
It's something that we're all actively shaping through our actions and decisions.
So in a sense, we're all stakeholders in this AI revolution.
We are.
And the more informed we are,
Yeah.
the better equipped we'll be to make those decisions.
That's why it's so important to stay curious.
Okay.
Stay engaged.
Right.
And stay informed about these issues.
And that brings us to another critical aspect
Yeah.
of navigating this uncertain landscape,
Okay.
the global economy,
Right.
it seems like we're facing a convergence of challenges,
Mm-hmm.
geopolitical instability,
Yeah.
supply chain disruptions,
Right.
rising inflation.
It's a complex and interconnected web of factors.
Yeah.
And it's creating a lot of uncertainty for
Right.
businesses and individuals alike.
A recent report by Rapid Ratings
Mm-hmm.
surveyed executives
Yeah.
about their outlook on the global supply chain.
Okay.
The results were a bit concerning, weren't they?
They were a majority of executives believe
Okay.
that supply chain disruptions will worsen
Okay.
in the coming years.
Mm.
And they're citing a range of reasons: geopolitical risks,
Yeah.
trade tensions,
Mhm.
economic volatility.
It's almost like the world is becoming
Yeah,
more unpredictable and volatile.
that's a fair assessment.
Okay.
And it's making it increasingly difficult
Mhm.
for businesses to plan for the future.
James Gellert, the executive chairman of Rapid Ratings,
Right.
points out that many companies are struggling
Yeah.
to model and manage these risks
Mm-hmm.
because there are so many unknowns.
It's like trying to navigate a ship through a fog bank.
Yeah.
You can see the general direction you need to go,
Right.
but the details are constantly shifting, and there are hidden obstacles lurking beneath the surface.
And the stakes are high.
They are.
We're talking about potential disruptions to the flow
Yeah.
of goods and services that we all rely on.
Mm-hmm.
Everything from food and medicine
Yeah.
to electronics and energy.
Gellert also highlights the fact
Okay.
that a significant portion of global supply chains
Mm-hmm.
are made up of private companies.
Okay.
These companies are often more vulnerable to
Right.
financial stress,
Yeah.
especially in a climate of rising interest rates and inflation.
So it's like a chain reaction.
Exactly.
One company struggles
Yeah.
can quickly ripple through the entire system,
Mm-hmm.
leading to delays,
Right.
shortages,
Yeah.
and ultimately higher prices for consumers.
It's a sobering reminder
It is.
that the global economy is a delicate ecosystem.
Yeah.
And as we navigate these turbulent times, it's more important than ever
Okay.
to focus on building resilience.
What does that mean in practical terms?
Yeah.
What steps can businesses and individuals take
Okay.
to become more resilient
Okay.
in the face of these challenges?
Well, for businesses, it
Yeah.
starts with understanding their vulnerabilities.
Okay.
Where are the weak points in their supply chains?
Mm-hmm.
What are their biggest risk exposures?
Okay.
Once they've identified those areas,
Yeah.
they can start to develop strategies
Right.
to mitigate those risks.
So it's about being proactive
Exactly.
rather than reactive.
It's about anticipating potential problems
Yeah.
and having plans in place to address them.
Okay.
This might involve diversifying their supply chains,
Yep.
building up inventory buffers,
Okay.
or developing alternative sourcing strategies.
And what about individuals?
Yeah.
What can we do to prepare for potential economic disruptions?
Well, one of the most important things
Okay.
is to build a strong financial foundation.
Okay.
This means having an emergency fund,
Mm-hmm.
managing debt responsibly,
Right?
and investing for the long term.
Okay.
It's also a good idea to
Uh-huh.
develop a diverse set of skills
Okay.
that will be in demand,
Mhm.
regardless of how the economy evolves.
So it's about having a plan B,
Right.
maybe even a plan C.
That's right. And it's about being adaptable and resourceful.
Okay.
The world is changing rapidly, and those who can adapt quickly will be best positioned to thrive.
It's almost like we're entering a new era of uncertainty.
It is.
And to navigate it successfully,
Yeah.
we need to embrace a mindset of agility,
Mm-hmm.
resilience,
Right.
and constant learning.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
But the future's unpredictable. But
Yeah.
by developing these qualities,
Mm-hmm.
we can better prepare ourselves
Yep.
for whatever challenges lie ahead.
It feels like we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
It has been a lot.
From the potential of AI
Right.
to transform finance and other sectors
Yeah.
to the economic implications
Mm-hmm.
and the need for risk management
Yeah.
in a rapidly changing world.
Definitely a lot to think about.
It is, how do we want to
Yeah.
integrate AI into our lives?
Right.
How do we ensure that its benefits
Mm-hmm.
are widely shared?
Mm-hmm.
How do we mitigate the risks?
Yeah, these are all important questions.
They are.
Big questions.
What do you think are the most important things
Hmm.
for our listeners to keep in mind
Yeah.
when they think about AI and its impact on their own lives?
I would say stay informed,
Right.
be adaptable,
Right.
and don't be afraid to ask questions. The landscape is evolving rapidly,
Mm-hmm.
so continuous learning is key.
Yep.
And remember, you have a voice in shaping this future.
Yep.
Engage in the conversation.
Right.
Share your perspective and
Yeah.
advocate for the kind of world you want to see.
It's easy to feel overwhelmed
It is.
by the pace of change.
Yeah.
But we're not just passive observers.
Right. We have agency.
We do.
And we can make a difference.
We can. If AI truly becomes a
Yeah.
general purpose technology
Right.
on par with electricity or the internet,
Yeah,
it will likely touch every aspect of our lives.
I think so.
So what areas of your life do you think will be most affected?
That's a good question.
How are you preparing for those changes?
Yeah.
And what role do you want to play
Mm-hmm.
in shaping the future of AI?
Those are great questions to ponder.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive
Yeah.
into the world of AI,
It's been fun.
finance in the future.
Yeah, it has.
We hope you found it insightful and thought-provoking.
Until next time, keep exploring,
Yes.
keep questioning, and keep diving deep.